I'm going to show you that part. I'm going to clarify it to you. So a lot of times, we young ones, we Allah guide us to knowledge, to know a lot of things, but we keep it to ourselves. We don't extend it to our parents. Look at what Ibrahim was saying, that knowledge from my Lord has come to me, that which has not come to you. A lot of things we know of Sunnah that are for our parents did not know. And it's not because they knew and they left it from what is clear to us. What is apparent was that that was the way they grew up to know Islam. And it's not their fault in and of itself because they don't know any better. But now Allah guided us to know what they are upon, what they are doing is wrong. So we clarify things to them in a very mild, in a very gentle manner that what they are doing is not correct. And we should not expect that immediately we tell them they change. It may take a month, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, or even more than that. I remember a story of um a story that Dr. Bilal Phillips Hafizahullah, he mentioned that because he accepted Islam, however his parents then were still non-Muslims. And he accepted Islam, I believe, in the 70s or thereabouts. So not until recent times, in maybe in 2000, or I can't remember the exact time. Later, years later, when he visited his parents, they were the ones um that willingly accepted Islam. He was shocked. And he said his father, when he asked his father that what made you so say you want to accept Islam now, despite the fact that I've been telling you about accepting Islam before now, he said one of the reasons why he told him want to accept Islam now is the fact that the way he related to them all these years, that he knew deep down that this path that their son is upon is the correct way to live life. That he never shouted at them, he never looked down at them. He was always patient in addressing all the issues then. Because he has kind of not given up, but it was like status quo, my parents are not Muslims, and they accepted Islam. So we should not expect that immediately we tell them they must. No, we shouldn't put that must. The guidance is with Allah. So after that, he now said, Ya abati la ta'budu shaitan. Oh my dear father, please do not worship shaitan. Do not address, do not direct your worship, your servitude to shaitan. Inna shaitan kana lirrahmani asiyya. Certainly shaitan has ever been a disobedient creature, servant to his Lord Allah. But Rahman, the one who is full of mercy. Yeah, Abati again. This is the fourth time that he used um this expression, my dear beloved father. Inni akhaf an yamassaka adhabun min ar-Rahman fatakuna lish-shaytani waliya. Oh, my dear father, I am afraid that a punishment from my Lord, ar-Rahman, the one that is full of mercy, is going to reach you. And at that period of time, Shaitan will not be the one that will be your leader. Shaitan will only be the one that you can look up to at that point, not Allah again, because Shaitan will be the one that has misguided you and is the only one that can say is responsible on your matter. What did his father say after that? He said, Arawagibun anta an alihati, ya Ibrahim. Are you turning away from my idol, the ones that I'm worshiping? O Ibrahim, la illam tantahi la arjumannak. If you do not desist from what you are telling me to do, I'm going to stone you to death. Wahjurni maliya. Leave me alone for a period of time. What did Ibrahim say? Did he flare up? Did he shout back at his father, saying what his father had said? If you stone me, I'll stone you back. If you curse me, I'll curse you back. Or he does things that appears to be very disrespectful. What did he say? Allah says he responded to that mighty or that serious statement from his father that he was going to stone him to death. He said what? Salamun alaik. May the peace be upon you. So ask for Rabbi. I will continuously seek forgiveness for you, for my Lord. إِنَّهُ كَانَ بِي حَفِيًّا. Allah has always been the one that I rely upon, that I can call upon, that will respond to my affair. This is the relationship between Ibrahim, his parents, and the people. Look at how he related with them. So, my brothers and sisters, if you find ourselves in this situation, let's take Ibrahim as a role model in this part. It's not easy, there's no doubt, but everything that happens is always for a reason. And we know that in al bala ma'idham al jaza, that the bigger the trial, the mightier or the bigger the enormous reward that comes with it. So if with patience, with mildness, with gentleness, we are able to um, handle and deal with this situation, Allah is going to make things easy. Even though, like we know, Ibrahim's father never accepted Islam, and without doubt, from all the hadith, from Quran, the verse of Quran and the hadith, it's clear that Ibrahim's father would be in the hellfire. There is no doubt about that. We have that in Surah to Tawbah. Allah mentioned that the istighfar that Ibrahim promised his father, that he made for his father, it was a promise he made, like he said here, that I'm going to seek for Allah's forgiveness. It was not because of the fact that his father died as a Muslim, no. So Allah has made it clear that Ibrahim's father is not from the inhabitants of Al-Jannah. And we have several hadith like that that mention it. Because of time, we will not go there. So, but that does not take away the fact that being kind, being nice, being gentle to people that are not of our religion, especially if they are parents, it doesn't take that away from us. Even if they don't even accept it, you would have achieved the fact that you had followed the path of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. So this is the first part that I believe one or two people amongst us would perhaps find ourselves, especially with our parents who are not of the same religion of us with us, and perhaps they might not even understand the sunnah we are practicing, even though they are Muslims. So let's try to take Ibrahim as a role model in this aspect. The second one we want to look at seeing Ibrahim as a role model, as a husband, seeing Ibrahim as a role model, being a husband to a wife. How should we see Ibrahim as a role model? There is so we're looking at two aspects because we know Ibrahim had two wives, Sarah and Hajar. I'll bring those two aspects, inshallah. There is a famous hadith that virtually, if we studied books that has to do with the day of Qiyamah, we read books that have to do with that matter, would have one or two times come across this hadith. And it's called the hadith of Shafa'a, right? The biggest Shafa'atul Kubra, the biggest intercession that will be made by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the day of Qiyamah. And this is the Shafa'a that would occur after people have been under the intensity of the sun. People will just be standing under the sun, sweating for years, 50,000 years under the sun, just standing, waiting for judgment. What's going to happen? They are just the people sweating according to their sins, some to their ankles, some to their knees, some to their waist, some to their shoulder, some neck, some will be drowning in their sins. People are just there standing under the sun. Nothing is happening. Then when people cannot bear it again, they start reaching out. Who can assist us today? Because we cannot just stand here and nothing is happening. Okay, then the suggestion will be made that let's go and meet Adam. They go and meet him. The Adam, you are Abul Bashar. You are the father of mankind. Right? Allah created you with his hands. Can't you see what we are into? That we are in anguish, we are in state of turmoil, we are in state of trial, can't you see the situation that we are in right now? Please go and intercede on our behalf before Allah so we can at least know those who are entering Jannah so they can enter. And those who are entering the hellfire can just move rather than just standing here. Then Adam alayhi salam would reject that offer, saying that he disobeyed Allah by eating from the forbidden tree. We all know the story. He's going to reject that, saying that, nafsi, nafsi, nafsi. What I'm concerned today is about my soul. I'm concerned about myself alone. I'm not bothered about anybody except myself. But Allah is angry today in a way and fashion that He has never been angry like that before. And after today, Allah would not be angry like that again. So you want me to go and meet Allah? No, I won't. I would have to stay away from the anger of Allah today. Go and meet Noah. Then we go and meet Noah alayhi salam, saying that you are the first of the messengers of Allah. And Allah described you as inna kana abdan shakura. That Noah, you are indeed a grateful and appreciative servant to Allah. Can't you see what you are in today? Go and intercede on our behalf before Allah. Then Noah is going to reject that offer, saying that I made dua against my people that I shouldn't have done. We all know in Surah Nuh, making dua, say that رَبِّ لَا تَذَرْ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ دَيَّارًا. He made dua against them. So Allah destroyed them. Then he's going to reject that offer, saying similar statement like Adam alayhi salam, go and meet Ibrahim. This is the point of reference. You go and meet Ibrahim, saying that you are Khalil Rahman, you are Allah's bosom and beloved friend, right? You are Abul Anbiya, you are the father of most of the prophets of Allah. Intercede on our behalf. Can't you see what we are going through? Then Ibrahim will say something profound, something very, very strange. And that's why Ibrahim alayhi salam is a special human being, if you can say that. He will say something that I don't believe anybody listening to me can achieve. We can't even achieve it. And you would listen to it now. We can't achieve it. He said what? I can't go and meet Allah. Why? He said he lied 3 times throughout the entirety of his life. Can you listen to that? Let me read a hadith from that so you get it. And the hadith is in Sahih Bukhari. And Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, from Abu Hurairah, he narrated that, said, قل لم يكذب إبراهيم عليه السلام إلا 3 كذبات. That Ibrahim did not lie throughout the entirety of his life. Please, let's listen. Ibrahim did not lie throughout the entirety of his life except 3 times. And because of this, he said he's not going to go and meet Allah because Allah is angry. How can he go and meet Allah when he lied 3 times? Now let's now look into those 3 lies. He said he lied. And let's see if those 3 lies are indeed lies. Different from the kind of lies people lie today. That is clear lies. Somebody is still in his house. He said, I'm already on the road. I'm about to get to the destination. And the person is still at home. This is a clear lie. There's no doubt about it. They now analyze the lies, quote and unquote, that Ibrahim said is lie. So Abu Hurairah said, Minhunna, from amongst the lie, is what he said what? Fintaini minhunna fi dhatillah. From the 3 lies he said he lied, 2 out of it were for the sake of Allah. When he said what? Inni saqim. When he came to meet him, that, oh, let's go to the festival. Today is our day of festival for our idols. He said to them, Inni saqim. I am sick. He actually meant that he's sick of what they are doing. Like, he's not happy. Like, sick. But what they understood was the fact that he was sick in terms of body sickness. Like maybe he had one disease or whatever. And he knew that he doesn't have that kind of situation. But he told them, Inni what saqim. He didn't want to go and join them or participate in their idol worshiping, which, of course, that is right for a Muslim. But he said that statement was Inni saqim, which he considered as a lie. Which, if we are to look at it from our own lens, we say, no, this is not a lie. That's the first thing he considers like. The second was when he asked him in the verse we read to us not long ago, when he asked that أنت فعلت هذا بآلهتنا يا إبراهيم, that were you the one that did this and that to our idols, oh Ibrahim, what did he say? قال بل فعله كبيرهم هذا, rather it's the big one amongst them. Like we said then, that he's saying all of these things so they can reflect and reason that the big one amongst them that is also an idol, can it move to the extent that he would carry an axe to strike the rest of the idols? They now hang it on his neck. We wanted to realize that it's not possible. But he said this so that they can reason, but that's what he considered as what a lie, because in Trinity, it was not the big one that did it, it was Ibrahim that did it. So this was the two things he considered as a lie. The last one that is considered as a lie said, Ibrahim said, بينه وذات يوم وسارة إذ أتى على جبار من الجبابرة, that one day when he and Sarah, his wife, they were moving in a town, they now passed by a town that was in that town there was a very tyrannical person, like a king, like their leader, from amongst the corrupt individuals that have ever existed. فقيل له إن ها هنا رجلا معه امرأة من أحسن الناس. Then people were now saying like the soldiers or people like that are seeing things that move in the town, how things are going in the society. They now said, ah, look at this man that is moving here. With him is a woman that is from the most beautiful women or people. فأرسل إليه فسأله عنها. Then they now send somebody to go and meet him, to ask him about that woman to him. Because if the woman, if he says the woman was his wife, as an example, they are going to kill him and they are still going to do nasty things to the woman. So he had already gotten like a pre-knowledge about that. He now said that in hadhihi, that faqala man hadhihi, they now said, who is this woman? He said, ukhti, she is my sister. This is the third lie he said he was lying. But in reality, what we would translate and what we believe Ibrahim was referring to in reality is that she was a sister with Din. And he said that, as we'll see, فأتى سارة قال يا سارة. He now went to quickly meet his wife Sarah. He now told her, oh Sarah, Lisa, I want us to understand this. Now said what? ليس على وجه الأرض مؤمن غيري وغيرك. There is none on the surface of the earth now that is a believer in Allah except me and you. Anybody else, nobody else is a Muslim. At that time that Ibrahim was talking, nobody on the surface of the earth was a mu'min in terms of tawheed. Nobody. He was doing a reminder, giving her like a reminder, you should know this one, that there is no other person except me and you that is a mu'min. وَإِنَّ هَذَا سَأَلَنِ, and this person you are looking at from afar that came to meet me, he asked me about you. فَأَخْبَرْتُهُ أَنَّكِ أُخْتِي, and I told him that you are my sister. فَلَا تُكَذِّبِينِي, so do not belie me. Don't get there and say that you are my wife. Keep that knowledge and say that you are my sister. Right? That I'm your brother. فَأَوْصَلَ إِلَيْهَا, then they now took her forcefully from him. فَلَمَّا دَخَلَتْ عَلَيْهِ, when they now took her, so the tyrant, the king or the leader that is a tyrant, they now took her to him. ذهب يتناولها بيده. He now wanted to start doing nasty things with her, right? With his hands. فأخذ فقال, then when فأخذ, when he was about um to get to her, his body became paralyzed. فقال أدعي الله لي ولا أدرك. Please beg Allah on my behalf so that I'm not going to remain in this state of paralysis and I'm not going to harm you. I promise I'm not going to harm you. فدعت الله فأطلق. So she now begged Allah that Allah should free him from the situation. ثم Tanawalaha thaniya. When he was free from his paralysis, he now attempted second time. فأخذ مثلها أو أشد. Then what happened previously happened again, or even more serious than the previous one. فقال ادع الله لي ولا أدعوك. Now said again, please, please, beg Allah on my behalf, and I'm not going to harm you again. فدعت فأطلق. She now made a dua to Allah that Allah should release him. Then he was free. After this, فدعا بعض حجبته فقال. He now called one of his guards, those that are like a security men. He now called one of them. فقال. He now said, إنكم لم تأتوني بإنسان. What's wrong with you? That you did not bring a human being to me. إنما تأتوني تأتو إنما أتيتموني بشيطان. You only brought a shaitan to meet me, a devil to come and meet me. This person is not a human being. Like it appears strange to him that he wanted to do something bad to her and he was not able to. This it was strange. So فأخدمها Hajar فأتته. Then he now gave Hajar as a gift to her. Just take this lady and be going. Just leave my palace or leave my my surroundings. So he now left. She now left with Hajar. When he now came back, don't forget, he and Ibrahim and Sarah were traveling, meaning that Ibrahim was not around this. He didn't witness all what has happened, right? But what was Ibrahim doing? When she came back with Hajar to where they left Ibrahim, she found Ibrahim doing something. وَهُوَ قَائِمٌ يُصَلِّي. He was standing observing Salah. He was standing observing Salah. This is Ibrahim. He was not there, but the Lord of Ibrahim was there. He witnessed everything. So it's not far-fetched that as a result of the dua of Ibrahim for his wife and the tawheed that Ibrahim has taught his wife Sarah, Allah used that to save his wife from what she was facing. And Ibrahim was not chit-chatting with people in the town to while away time, or was crying, rolling his body on the floor. Oh, they've taken his wife. Oh, how is he going to survive? How is he going? His life has been destroyed. Like how people say things against themselves. That is not going to solve the situation. That is the natural tendency for a human being. Like Allah says that وَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ, when he talks about the instructive thing, that reduce man to the lowest of the low, except those who have Iman and perform righteous actions. So the natural tendency of somebody that does not have Iman, taqwa, full knowledge and action of Tawheed, will be to just complain, shout, make a lot of things, thinking that that's going to save. No. There are a lot of things, there are a lot of steps that one will take. However, the first is to start with what is the most important. It was described regarding the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that either hazamahu shayhun salla, whenever something difficult happens to him, he observes salah. He observes salah. Make dua, observe salah and sujud, making dua, because it's only Allah that can change situation. Nothing is too difficult for Allah to upturn. Oh, it has happened like this. No, whatever has happened is still within what Allah can do. Because Allah is the one that Mudabbirul Amr, is one that facilitates matters and affairs. So he was not rolling on the ground. He was observing Salah, making dua. While on Salah, فَأَوْمَهَا بِيَدِهِ مَهْيَا. Like, while he's still on Salah, he did a kind of sign to her, like, it's like, what happened? Someone that he was like, took you forcefully, and you came with somebody else, like, or else Salah. So she now said, قالت رد الله كيد الكافر أو الفاجر في نحره وأخدم هاجر. Allah repelled the evil machination, the evil plot and plan of this disbelieving man or this sinful person, right? Then he now gave Hajar to come and as a gift to serve us. Call Abu Hurairah now said at the end of the hadith that Tilka ummukum ya bani ma'isama. That is your mother, that is Hajar, that was given to Ibrahim and Sarah. Abu Hurairah said that that is your mother, ya bani ma'isama. That is the people of this water from the sky, referring to the Arabs. So this is the story of Ibrahim. So how to be a good husband, seeing Ibrahim as a role model is that you teach your wife Tawheed. As you can see what played out. I can't remember right now, but I believe there's a wire to this where Sarah said some statements why the man was about to approach, but I'm not certain right now, to show our own firm conviction on Tawheed. So as a man, as a husband, you instill Tawheed into your wife and vice versa. And vice versa. So seeing Ibrahim as a woman, as a husband, as you can see now, the way he related in this situation between his wife and the tyrant leader. Likewise, to move faster, Ibrahim, his own case with Hajar when she gave birth to Ismail. So they traveled, right? They traveled to Makkah. Like we all know that famous story. They went together to Makkah with Ismail without any place that does not have any shade, does not have any vegetation, does not have any water. Everything is very dry, arid land. And he went there, took his wife with little provision there that remained as at that point in time, little food or little water, and he turned back. I will know the situation. She called him that, why are you leaving us here? Who is going to take care of us? And he replied to Allah's care, I'm leaving it to Allah's care. Then she was satisfied. Look at a wife. Look at a wife. She did not wail. She did not curse. She did not shout. She did not complain. This is Tawheed playing here. Look, we can all see how Ibrahim, how he started, he nurtured himself, how Allah guided him from a little child, a young man, and the likes. He also transferred that to his wives. Because if the wife did not have Tawheed, what played out there is not possible. There are some things that can never happen in a situation like this. Because one is going to come to, because she thought that, okay, we are moving together, at least my husband will be with me, with our new, our child that is still suckling. That's the thought, at least we'll be together, at least my husband has traveled with me. Fine. Now he dropped and is leaving us. And the response she gave was that she's satisfied that Allah is going to surprise them, despite the fact that she does not know how it's going to happen. But she had that firm belief. Right? So what played out. The child started crying when every provision has reduced. Milk that was used to breastfeeding the child has reduced because there's no water. And she started searching to find if you can find water, going to top of a mountain, seeing if she can see somebody passing. And we all know how this became the sa'yu that must be done for those who perform Hajj. Moving from Safa to Marwa, trying to find help. Somebody coming while she was listening to the cry of her child. Till Allah brought her a farj. Allah brought a way out for her, as we all know the story. What do you want to bring out from the story of Ibrahim and Hajar? The fact that he instilled Tawheed in his wife. He instilled Tawheed in his wife. And likewise, the way he did that to his other wife, Sarah, like we all see. Then the third one, make things faster. His relationship, how he related with his relative. Ibrahim had a nephew that we know as Lot, alayhi salam. And Allah affirmed the fact that, don't forget, in the hadith we mentioned, that Ibrahim was telling Sarah that, Laysa ala wajil abd, mu'minun, ghayri wa ghayrik. There is nobody on the surface of the heart except me and you. Meaning the point in at the point in time he was saying this, Hajar has not met them. So when they brought Hajar to meet him, they taught her Tawheed. Then later, when he got to meet his nephew, Lot, he taught him Tawheed because Allah affirmed that in the Quran. فَآمَنَ لَهُ لُوط فَآمَنَ لَهُ لُوط. Lot believed in the message of Ibrahim, which is Tawheed. Before that time, Lot wasn't a Muslim. He wasn't. He believed in the message of Ibrahim, meaning Ibrahim did not leave his relative alone. And we find how this played out in, I think in Surah to Hud, thereabouts, where Allah was talking about the story of Ibrahim, how Ibrahim was relating to with the Malaika when they came to meet him. So Allah says regarding that, when he had gotten the good news from the Malaika, he was now debating. He was debating with what is it called? With the Malaika regarding they should not destroy what is it called? The people of Lut. He said, فَلَمَّا ذَهَبَ عَنْ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَعُوا وَجَاءَتْهُ الْبُشْرَى يُجَادِلُنَا فِي قَوْمِ لُوطٍ. When the good news that his wife Sarah is going to give birth to a child, when that left his mind, he was happy. He now started arguing on behalf of the people of Lut. Don't forget, Lut has already accepted Islam from him, that is Tawheed, and he was already making that da'wah to his own people, that is Lut. When they gave him the message that they are come to destroy the people of Lut, he told them in another verse in Surah to Anbiya, Surah to Ankabut, that قَالَ إِنَّ فِيهَا لُوطًا, that we want to destroy the people of Lut. Lut is there now. Will you destroy the prophets of Allah? They said, قَالُوا نَحْنُ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنْ فِيهَا. We know those who are in that town. We know that Lot is there. That we are going to save him and his family. إِلَّا مُوَاتَهُ كَانَتْ مِنَ الْغَابِرِينَ. We are going to save Lot and his household. The household is those who believe in him, except his wife. She is going to be amongst those who remain behind. So when they told him this, like I mentioned, Surah to Hud, he said he was arguing on their matter, like they are going to accept. Just give them some time. You should not destroy them, and they are going to listen. They are giving them excuses so that they are going. This is Ibrahim for us. He's made that work to his brother, his nephew, Lot. His nephew carried on the message to call his own people. And despite that, he was still begging on their behalf. Allah affirmed that Ibrahim was truly Ibrahim. Inna Ibrahim ala halimun awwa'un munib. Certainly Ibrahim is a forbearing person, someone that receives a lot of harm and is remaining patient on that and does not express it out. Halim, someone that is forbearing. Awwa'un munib, someone that always return back to Allah in repentance. He doesn't say, oh, no, I'm the one, I have tawheed. He was constantly doing istighfar, seeking for repentance from Allah. Allah should forgive him, should have mercy upon him. Like that, consistently. But the matter was beyond what Ibrahim can actually defend. Because Allah says, the Malaika said, Ya Ibrahim, a'rid an hadha. Ibrahim, this matter, turn away from it. It's not a matter that you can actually come between the punishment of Allah. Innahu qad jaa'a amru rabbik. The matter regarding this people will be destroyed has already arrived. It cannot go back. It's a matter that has been decided by Allah that people of Lot will be destroyed. وَإِنَّهُمْ آتِيهِمْ عَذَابٌ غَيْرُ مَرْدُودٍ. Certainly, punishment of Allah would reach them that will not be repelled. It's not going to be turned back So where is coming? They are going to destroy it. What is the point of reference from this, or what do you want to achieve from this? Is the fact that Ibrahim made da'wah. So Lot, and Allah affirmed that Lot accepted the message of Ibrahim after Ibrahim called him. So so we have cousins, we have siblings, we have nieces, we have nephews, uncles and aunties. Let's not keep our Islam to ourselves. Oh, it's just me and my household, my family. Let's extend it. Let them know what we are upon. Of course, with what? Gentleness, with mildness, with softness. Let them realize, let them see. And we ensure that we outstand in whatever we are doing. We should be known for good things. We should not be the ones causing issues in the family. We should ensure that our children are the ones that are coming out in flying colors in their Islamiyas, in their studies of the Deen and of the Dunya. They are outstanding. Let that be a form of dawah to them, for their own children that are wallowing in frivolities. Their children that are not practicing. But they can see your own children standing out in everything. Let that be a form of dawah to them too. Don't keep it. It's not a private affair that once I'm guided, others can follow the highway as misguided people. No, let's extend it to the rest. So let's see Ibrahim as a guide to this. Because of time, I would just brush over the last two parts because of time. So I don't want to keep us on the call for too much time. So the fourth one is seeing Ibrahim as a role model. So the children, instilling Tawheed to your children. Don't leave them alone. Don't transfer the responsibility of nurturing your children to the Islamic schools. Oh, I've sent them to madrasa. They are going to teach them, but I don't care. And anything that happens is quick by calling the Islamic teachers, the teachers at school. What's happening? My son said this, son that, why are this? What are you doing at home as a parent? You nurture your child upon, yes, they are going to Islamic schools. Yes, they are going to teach them or fast track a lot of things for the child on your behalf, like memorizing the Quran and other subjects of the deen. However, that doesn't mean that you have no role to play at all, right, in the life of your children. No, you call them in groups. You have discussion in groups and in like one-on-one discussion with your children. Let them feel you, like having attention to them. Let them know that my father or my mother wants guidance from me. They love me. Speak with them with kindness. It shouldn't be that anytime you call your child or your children, it's only when they've done something wrong by shouting, raising up your voice. So they're always scared. So they don't want to associate themselves with you. They don't, because you do not bring them closer to teach them things that are very important. So Ibrahim was a role model in this aspect. The way his wives had Tawheed, the same way they transferred that into the lives of their children, especially the story that we learned in Surah Safat when Ibrahim mentioned the fact that inni ara fil manami anni adbahuka fanzur madha tara, that I have been saying, he didn't say I saw, that inni ara, something that regularly occurs, that is a regular action. I've been seeing like regularly that I was slaughtering you in my dream. What do you see to this? What's your opinion to this? Like I said regarding that of Hajar, that if she did not have Tawheed before that time, she is going to cause Ibrahim, say a lot of bad words to him. But he asks his child to just know what does he even see to the matter. One, the child knows that his father always does what is right. He trusts his father's decision. He knows that his father's statement is revelation from Allah. He was that suffices to him. What do you say after that? He said that, yeah, Abati, look at the way he addressed his own father. That's the same way his own son addressed him. The same way he addressed his father, yeah, Abati, yeah, that's the same way his own son responded to him, my dear beloved father. If Alma to do whatever you've been commanded to do. سَتَجِدُنِي إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مِنَ الصَّابِرِينَ. You would find me with Allah's permission to be amongst those who are patient. I'm not going to run away. I'm not going to, no, I'm going to be patient to whatever decision that Allah has decided for us. Then Allah affirmed that فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَا, when the two of them became true Muslims, that is, when they submitted fully with the decision of Allah, not that one of them submitted, the other person was displeased. They both submitted to the will of Allah. This is to show the point, the peak of Tawheed that Ibrahim instilled in his child. And his child was a very young boy then. As Allah said that فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعَهُ السَّعْيَ, when this child was able to assist him in normal activities that a father does, maybe carry this one, okay, can you help me leave this one? That is no more like a baby, a young boy in his maybe early teens, thereabouts. And that's the point at which Allah tested them. So look at the age of that child at that point in time. He was not like a full-blown adult that has a lot of responsibility. Oh, no, he was a young child that also wants to play, wants to enjoy the way children in our time also want to play and enjoy. But he was ready to lay down his life for the sake of Allah. This is the power of Tawheed that Ibrahim instilled in his child. And that's what we should also do for our own children by transferring the true knowledge of Islam, Tawheed. Let them love Islam. Do things that will make them admire Islam, to love Islam. Make them see the reason is that they can or they should be able to stand upon Tawheed without their parents' presence. If my father is not around, I'm going to do what is right. I'm going to obey Allah. I'm going to observe Salah. I'm not going to disobey him. I'll do what is right. This is Tawheed. And the same thing Allah described to us in Surah Al-Luqman, where Luqman also addressed his child regarding matters that have to do with Tawheed. Then a lot of things I would have wished I discussed around that because of time. Then the last one is Ibrahim being a role model, being a father-in-law to his son's wife, that is his daughter-in-law. So after a while, after he left Ismail in Makkah, Ismail got married to a tribe called Banu Durham. And over time, he got married to one of their daughters because he taught him Arabic. Because previously, Ibrahim's language is not Arabic. So but that tribe that came from Yemen, Banu Durham, they taught they taught Ismail Arabic, and he got married to one of their daughters. So after a while, Ibrahim came back after telling Sarah, because when he left Makkah, he went back to where he was, just in Palestine. Philistine. So he and Sarah were living there, right? Then he came back after telling Sarah that he wanted to go back to Makkah. So when he got back there, he saw that he met the wife of his son Ismail. So he asked him after the affairs, how is your affair with? I came to meet this person because of the fact that she had not met him, and because she's not a person that has a good quality to be as a good quality as a wife. She said a lot of nasty things about the husband, about the situation, complaining to a stranger that you don't even know. Oh, our affairs have been difficult. If we rarely even eat, things have been hard for us. Oh, my husband is this, my husband is that. He now told her that when your husband gets home, tell him to change the the handle of the doorstep when he comes back, and to deliver his message. And he told her, that's my father, and he has instructed me to divorce you. And after a while, he went back to um, Palestine. He came back again. Ismail had married another person. And the situation that happened in that second scenario was better than the previous one. And he told her that tell your husband that he should keep the door handle to his doorstep very well. And when she delivered the message to him, so he said that that's my father. He has told me to keep you as a wife. So with what we've said and a lot that I would have wished I had mentioned, all what we want to achieve from this is the fact that Ibrahim is a role model that, if we look at the story, like I've mentioned a few of it, would find one or two ways or areas where we should start implementing immediately. Seeing Ibrahim as a role model, why you should start doing a lot of things to copy him, because Allah has instructed the Prophet Muhammad to follow his path. The millata Ibrahim Hanifa, Ama kana min al-mushrikin, that the path of Ibrahim, Ibrahim that is someone that is full of tawheed and was not from those who were having a shirk or